Introduction of the Art of Being Alone by Renuka Gavrani. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means discovering yourself in the silence. In a world that glorifies busyness, social connections, and external validation, being alone is often misunderstood. Society tells us that being surrounded by people equals happiness and that solitude is something to fear. But what if being alone is actually the key to inner peace, self-growth, and true freedom? Have you ever felt uncomfortable in silence? Do you struggle to enjoy your own company? Are you constantly seeking distractions to avoid being alone with your thoughts? If so, The Art of Being Alone is the book that will change the way you see solitude forever. What this audiobook will teach you. This book is not about isolation. It's about learning how to embrace solitude as a powerful tool. 4. Self-discovery, understanding who you truly are without external noise. Emotional strength, learning to be happy and content without relying on others. Mental clarity, finding inner peace and creativity in solitude. Confidence and independence, becoming someone who is whole on their own. Through real-life stories, psychological insights, and practical strategies, Renuka Gavrani takes us on a journey to transform loneliness into empowerment. Why this book matters more than ever. We live in a hyper-connected world. Constantly scrolling, constantly consuming, constantly surrounded by digital noise. Yet, despite all of this, loneliness is at an all-time high. Social media keeps us engaged, but does it make us feel truly connected? People fill their schedules with endless activities, but do they ever sit with themselves? Many fear being alone, but what if solitude is the missing key to a fulfilled life? The truth is, happiness doesn't come from external validation. It comes from within. This book is your guide to mastering solitude, embracing stillness, and building a life where you feel whole, independent, and at peace. No matter who is around you. Who is this book for? Anyone who feels lonely and wants to turn solitude into strength. People who struggle with self-love and want to build inner confidence. Thinkers, dreamers, and creatives looking for clarity and inspiration. Those who want to break free from the fear of being alone and embrace their individuality. By the end of this audiobook, you will see solitude not as a punishment, but as a superpower. Are you ready to master the art of being alone? Let's begin this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. This book is divided into 2 parts. The first part focuses on understanding loneliness and embracing solitude, while the second part provides practical steps to make solitude fulfilling and productive. Let's dive into Part 1, Understanding Solitude. Chapter 1, Stop Romanticizing Loneliness. Why do we glorify loneliness? Have you ever heard someone say that loneliness is poetic? That feeling lost and alone is part of being an artist, a thinker, or even a genius? Movies, books, and social media all seem to celebrate this idea. That the lonely soul is somehow deeper, more intelligent, or more special than the rest. But let's be real. Is loneliness really something to admire? Or is it actually a warning sign? Telling us that something in our life needs to change? Let's see the illusion of romanticized loneliness. You see, there's this dangerous myth that loneliness is a symbol of depth. That if you feel isolated, it somehow makes you unique, mysterious, or wise. Maybe you've seen it in movies. The lone artist sitting by a window, staring at the rain, writing poetry about pain. Or the brooding genius, misunderstood by the world, walking alone in the night, deep in thought. Even on social media, people post aesthetic pictures of themselves alone with captions like, "The loneliest people have the deepest thoughts." But here's the truth, loneliness isn't a superpower. It's suffering in disguise. In reality check, loneliness isn't a badge of honor. Let me tell you something important. Feeling lonely for too long is not a sign of intelligence, creativity, or uniqueness. It's a sign that your mind and heart are craving connection either with yourself or with the world around you. Loneliness, if left unchecked, can lead to self-doubt, anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues. It creates a cycle of isolation, making you believe that being alone is your destiny, instead of something you have the power to change. Let's see a real-life story of Lisa's wake-up call. Let me introduce you to Lisa. Lisa was a 30-year-old aspiring poet. She would sit alone in cafes, writing about heartbreak and solitude. She believed that her sadness made her writing more powerful, that the deeper her loneliness, the stronger her words would be. But here's the truth, Lisa wasn't improving as a writer. She was just stuck in a cycle of self-pity. Her creativity wasn't growing, it was trapped inside the walls of her loneliness. One day, she decided to change things. Instead of using loneliness as an excuse, she embraced solitude intentionally. She started journaling, but this time, with purpose, not just writing about pain, but about her dreams and ambitions. She began meditating, reading more books, and even stepping out to try new experiences on her own. And guess what happened? Her writing transformed. It wasn't powerful because she was sad. It became powerful because she finally had clarity, depth, and purpose. She learned that true creativity and wisdom don't come from suffering, they come from understanding yourself. Let's see key lesson, turn loneliness into solitude. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Stop seeing loneliness as something deep or romantic. Instead, transform it into solitude, a state of peace, clarity, and self-connection. Because solitude is a choice. It's the difference between feeling empty in your own company and feeling empowered by it. So, the next time you find yourself glorifying loneliness, ask yourself, am I truly growing from this? Or, am I just stuck in a story that I keep telling myself? You don't need loneliness to be special. You don't need isolation to be creative. What you need is inner peace, clarity, and the courage to embrace solitude in a way that serves you. So the final thought of this chapter is, if this message resonated with you, take a moment today to practice being alone with intention. Go for a walk without distractions. Write in a journal without dwelling on sadness, or simply sit in silence and breathe. Because the moment you stop romanticizing loneliness and start embracing solitude, your entire perspective will change. Next, chapter 2, the pain of hiding your true self. Have you ever felt completely alone, even when you were surrounded by people? Have you ever laughed at a joke you didn't find funny, just to fit in? Or held back your true thoughts because you were afraid of being judged? If you've ever felt this way, you're not alone. But here's the truth, loneliness isn't just about being physically alone. The worst kind of loneliness is feeling like you can't be your true self. Let's see the hidden mask. Why we pretend to be someone else. From the moment we're born, we are told who we should be. Society, family, and friends all have expectations. Be polite. Don't be too loud. Be smart, but not arrogant. Dress a certain way. Like what everyone else likes. And over time, we learn to wear masks, to hide the parts of ourselves that don't fit in. We tell ourselves, I can't say what I really think, they'll judge me. I can't show them my true emotions, they'll think I'm weak. I have to act this way, or they won't accept me. But here's the problem, the more you hide who you really are, the lonelier you feel. Let's see a real-life story of Michael's struggle with hiding his true self. Let me tell you about Michael. Michael was a 27-year-old corporate employee. From the outside, his life seemed perfect. He had a stable job, a good salary, and a group of friends he met every weekend. But deep down, he felt exhausted. Every weekend with friends was filled with small talk and laughter that didn't feel real. He never shared his real thoughts, because he feared being seen as too different. He convinced himself that this was normal, that this was just how life was supposed to be. Until one day, he met an old friend, someone he hadn't seen in years. And for the first time in a long time, Michael spoke openly, about his dreams, his fears, the things he actually cared about. And his friend listened, without judgment. That night, Michael realized something shocking. He had spent years pretending to be someone else just to fit in, and it had only made him lonelier. Why hiding your true self creates more loneliness? So many of us are just like Michael. We think that if we fit in, we'll feel connected. But the truth is, if you're pretending to be someone you're not, the people around you aren't really connecting with you. They're connecting with the mask you wear. And that's why, even in a crowded room, even in a group of friends, you can still feel completely alone. Because real connection isn't about fitting in. It's about being seen, truly seen, for who you are. Let's see key lesson. Start removing the mask. So, what can you do about it? Step 1. Be honest about your interests. Ask yourself, do I actually enjoy the things I pretend to like? Maybe you go to parties even though you'd rather read a book. Maybe you laugh at jokes that aren't funny. Maybe you say yes to plans you don't actually want to do. It's time to stop. Start being honest about what makes you happy. Step 2. Speak your truth, even in small ways. You don't have to reveal everything overnight. Start small. If someone asks for your opinion, give your real answer, not the one you think they want to hear. If something upsets you, express it instead of staying silent. Step 3. Find people who accept the real you. Not everyone will understand you, and that's okay. The goal isn't to be liked by everyone, but to be loved for who you truly are. Seek out people who value you, not the version of you that fits their expectations. So final thought of this chapter is: the moment you stop hiding, the moment you allow yourself to be fully seen, something magical happens. You stop feeling lonely. You stop craving validation from people who don't truly know you. You start attracting real, meaningful connections. Because the people who are meant to be in your life, they'll love you for you. No mask. No pretending. Just you. And that is the true cure for loneliness. Next chapter 3, How to Be You. Think about this for a moment. If I asked you who are you, really? What would you say? Not your job. Not your relationship status. Not what your family expects of you. I mean you. Your thoughts. Your dreams. Your passions. So many of us have been living as someone else for so long that we forget who we actually are. But here's the good news, you can rediscover yourself. You can break free from expectations and become the most authentic version of you. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about from chapter 3, How to Be You. The problem is, why do we lose ourselves? From childhood, we're given labels. You're the responsible one. You're the quiet one. You're the funny one. You should be more like your brother. And without realizing it, we start living inside these roles. The problem? We become so used to being what others expect us to be, that we forget how to be ourselves. Let's see a real-life story of Saraha's awakening. Saraha was a 25-year-old marketing professional. She had a great job, wonderful friends, and a social life that seemed perfect. But every time she got home, she felt empty. One day, she was scrolling through her childhood photos and noticed something. As a kid, she used to love painting. It made her feel alive. But somewhere along the way, she stopped. She chose practical hobbies, studied practical subjects, and built a practical life. So she made a change. She picked up a paintbrush again, not to become a professional artist, not to impress anyone, just for herself. And something incredible happened. She started feeling whole again. So key lesson is, you already have the answers. Saraha's story teaches us something powerful. We don't have to find ourselves. We just have to remember who we've always been. So how do you do that? Let's go step by step. Step 1. Reconnect with your childhood self. Think back to when you were a child. Before the world told you who to be. Ask yourself. What did I love doing as a kid? What made me excited? What did I dream about before people told me what was realistic? Let's see on simple exercise. Take a piece of paper. Write down 5 things you used to love as a child but stopped doing. Then, pick one and try it again. It could be drawing, playing music, writing stories, anything that made you happy before the world told you it wasn't important. Step 2. Pay attention to what feels right. Have you ever done something and felt completely at peace? Like time disappeared, and you were just there? That's a clue. A clue to what truly matters to you. Let's see another exercise. For the next week, track what makes you feel alive. When do you feel the happiest? The most free? The most excited? Write it down. Because those moments are guiding you back to yourself. Step 3. Let go of who you should be. So many of us live with an I should be more social. I should have a normal 9 to 5 job. I should settle down by now. But here's the truth, there are no shoulds. The only path that matters is the one that feels right to you. Let's see real-life challenge. For one day, make decisions only based on what you truly want, not what you think you should do. If you don't feel like going out, don't. If you want to start a new hobby, do it. If you need to rest, rest. See how it feels to choose yourself. And the final step is stop seeking external validation. Many of us make decisions based on what will make others approve of us. But true confidence comes when you no longer need validation. Let me tell you a powerful affirmations to repeat daily. I am enough just as I am. I do not need permission to be myself. I choose what makes me happy, not what pleases others. Say these out loud every morning. Watch how your mindset shifts. So final thought of this chapter is, the most liberating truth. The truth is, there is no perfect version of you. There is only the real you. And the more you embrace it, the more life feels effortless, peaceful, and fulfilling. So go be you. Unapologetically. Boldly. Fully. Next chapter 4, the love for solitude. What if I told you that the time you spend alone could be the most fulfilling, powerful, and transformational time of your life? Most people fear solitude. They think being alone means being lonely. But that's not true. Loneliness is when you feel disconnected from others. Solitude is when you feel deeply connected to yourself. And in this, we're going to explore why falling in love with solitude might just be the greatest gift you can give yourself. The problem is, why do we fear being alone? As humans, we are social creatures. From birth, we are taught that being with others is safe, and being alone is something to avoid. Society makes it seem like if you're alone, something must be wrong with you. Reality check. Alone does not mean lonely. It means free. Let's see a real-life story of Daniel's breakthrough. Daniel was an extrovert. He was always surrounded by people, at work, at parties, even during vacations. But deep down, he realized something shocking. Even when he was with people, he felt alone. He didn't know himself. He was just filling the silence, avoiding his own thoughts. One weekend, he decided to challenge himself. No social media, no texting, no calls. Just him. At first, it felt uncomfortable. But then something changed. He read books he had put off for years. He walked in the park and noticed things he had never paid attention to before. He had deep conversations with himself. And for the first time, he felt a kind of peace that no amount of socializing had ever given him. So key lesson is, solitude is not a punishment, it's a superpower. Daniel's story teaches us something powerful. We don't actually fear being alone. We fear facing ourselves. But when you embrace solitude, you unlock 3 powerful benefits. First, you develop self-awareness. You finally hear your own thoughts without the noise of the world. Second, you gain clarity. Your goals, dreams, and values become clearer when you're not constantly influenced by others. Third, you become emotionally independent. You no longer need external validation to feel happy. So, how do you start falling in love with solitude? Let's break it down. Step 1. Redefine what solitude means to you. If you think of solitude as being alone with nothing to do, of course it sounds boring. Instead, think of it as a chance to recharge. A time for personal growth. A space for creativity. Mindset shift. Stop saying, I'm alone. Start saying, I get to spend time with myself. Step 2. Create a solo ritual you love. Most people fear solitude because they don't know what to do with it. So, create a ritual that makes you look forward to your alone time. For examples. Start your day with 10 minutes of journaling. Take yourself on solo coffee dates every Sunday. Go on a walk without distractions, no phone, just you. Make your alone. Step 3. Turn solitude into a creative playground. Did you know that some of the greatest thinkers, writers, and artists in history used solitude as a tool? Albert Einstein said his most creative ideas came when he was alone, just thinking. Virginia Woolf believed every person needs a room of one's own, a space to think freely. Steve Jobs would take long, solo walks to come up with groundbreaking ideas. Let's see one real-life challenge. For 1 hour, turn off all distractions and just create. Write, paint, brainstorm ideas, whatever feels right. See what happens when your mind is free from noise. Step 4. Learn to be alone without distractions. In today's world, we never truly experience solitude. The moment we're alone, we grab our phones, turn on the TV, or scroll endlessly. But real solitude means being alone with nothing but your thoughts. So try this. Spend 15 minutes sitting in silence, no phone, no distractions. Observe your thoughts. What comes up? What do you learn about yourself? At first, it might feel uncomfortable. But over time, you'll start enjoying this quiet space inside your mind. Step 5. Travel solo, even if it's just to a cafe. One of the most powerful ways to embrace solitude is to go somewhere alone. Take a solo trip. Go to a movie by yourself. Sit in a cafe with a book, no phone. Why? Because doing things alone builds confidence. It shows you that you don't need anyone else to have a good time. Why? You are enough. So final thought of this chapter is the love for solitude. The truth is, solitude isn't lonely. It's empowering. Once you start enjoying your own company, everything changes. You stop fearing being alone. You stop needing validation from others. And most importantly, you finally feel whole. So go. Take yourself on a date. Spend time in silence. Create. Dream. Explore. Because the best relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Let's dive into part 2, make solitude fulfilling and productive. Chapter 5, practicing the art of being alone. Solitude is a skill, one that takes practice. Many people think being alone just means sitting in silence, doing nothing. But that's not true. Being alone isn't about emptiness, it's about self-discovery. It's about learning to enjoy your own company, unlocking creativity, and finding inner peace. Because solitude isn't just something that happens, it's something you cultivate. Let's get started. The problem is, why do we struggle with being alone? Most people aren't actually afraid of being alone. They're afraid of being alone with their thoughts. In today's world, we're constantly distracted. Social media, endless notifications, constant background noise, it's like we've forgotten how to just be. But what if I told you that mastering solitude could be the key to unlocking your best self? Reality check. Alone time isn't a punishment, it's an opportunity. Let's see a real-life story of Mia's journey. Mia was always busy, always surrounded by friends, always online, always moving. But deep down, she felt exhausted. She thought she needed to be constantly connected to feel happy. One day, she decided to try something different. She set aside just 15 minutes a day to sit alone, no phone, no music, no distractions. At first, it felt strange. But over time, something amazing happened. She started hearing her own thoughts more clearly. She noticed ideas and dreams she had ignored. She felt more present, more creative, more at peace. That's when she realized, solitude isn't about isolation. It's about self-connection. So key lesson is, solitude is a practice, not an accident. Just like going to the gym builds physical strength, practicing solitude builds mental and emotional strength. So how do you actually do it? Let's break it down into 5 simple steps. Step 1. Create a daily solitude practice. Solitude doesn't have to be long or complicated. Start with just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Ideas for your daily practice. Sit in silence and observe your thoughts. Take a mindful walk without music. Write in a journal about how you're feeling. Meditate or practice deep breathing. For pro tip, set a timer for 5 minutes and just be. No distractions, no scrolling, just you and your thoughts. At first, your mind will resist. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll feel in your own PR. Step 2. Transform loneliness into creativity. Instead of thinking, I'm bored, I'm alone, think, this is my time to create. Some of the world's greatest artists, writers, and thinkers spent long hours alone to create their best work. Challenge yourself. Write down 3 things you've always wanted to try: painting, writing, photography, learning a new skill. Pick one and dedicate your alone time to it. Remember, solitude isn't about sitting still. It's about building something meaningful. Step 3. Reconnect with your inner voice. Most of us spend so much time listening to the world, we forget to listen to ourselves. Try this. Write yourself a letter. Imagine you're talking to your best friend. Ask yourself, what do I truly want in life? What makes me happy? What am I afraid of? When you stop drowning in noise, your own voice becomes clearer. And that voice? That's where your true self lives. Step 4. Enjoy solo adventures. One of the best ways to master solitude is to go on solo experiences. Let Met give ideas. Go to a cafe alone and watch people. Take yourself on a solo movie night. Travel to a new place, even if it's just a park you've never been to before. Why? Because the more you do things alone, the more confident and independent you become. You realize that you are enough. Step 5. Make solitude a joyful habit. The final step. Learn to look forward to being alone. Turn solitude into a treat, not a chore. Ways to make it enjoyable. Light a candle and enjoy a quiet evening. Take a hot bath and let yourself unwind. Put your phone away and just sit with a cup of tea. When solitude becomes something you crave, you've mastered the art of being alone. So final thought of this chapter is, practicing the art of being alone. The truth is, solitude is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It's where your creativity grows. It's where your real thoughts surface. It's where you build the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. So here's my challenge to you, set aside just 10 minutes today for solitude. No phone. No distractions. Just you. See what happens. Next chapter 6, turn loneliness into a growth period. Loneliness. A word that often feels heavy. A feeling that makes people uncomfortable. Most of us see loneliness as a void, something negative, something to escape. But what if I told you that loneliness could be the most transformative period of your life? Because here's the truth, loneliness is not your enemy. It's your teacher. The problem is, why do we fear loneliness? Why do we rush to fill every empty moment with noise, people, and distractions? Because sitting with ourselves can be uncomfortable. When we're alone, our deepest fears, insecurities, and doubts rise to the surface. And let's be honest, that can be scary. Reality check. Loneliness only feels painful when we don't know what to do with it. But if you use loneliness as a period of growth, it can become the most powerful time of your life. Let's see a real-life story of David's transformation. David was 25, recently heartbroken, and felt completely lost. He used to define himself by his relationships, and now, being alone felt unbearable. Instead of numbing his pain with social media or distractions, he made a decision: he would turn his loneliness into a growth period. He made a plan. He started journaling about his feelings. He picked up a new skill, learning to play the guitar. He focused on his health, exercising and meditating daily. After just 3 months, he didn't feel lonely anymore. He felt strong, independent, and full of purpose. His loneliness had turned into personal growth. So key lesson is, loneliness is a signal, not a curse. If you're feeling lonely right now, it's not a punishment. It's a signal. A message from your soul telling you, it's time to grow. It's time to reconnect with yourself. It's time to build a life you love. So, instead of running from loneliness, let's use it. Step 1. Shift your perspective on loneliness. The first step to transforming loneliness is changing how you see it. Instead of saying, "Why am I alone? What's wrong with me?" say, "I have time to focus on myself. What can I build?" Try this. Write down one thing that excites you about this time alone. Remind yourself, this is not emptiness. This is an opportunity. Step 2. Build a personal growth plan. When you don't have external distractions, you have time to build yourself. Here's a simple personal growth plan. For mindset, read books on self-improvement and growth. For skills, learn something new, coding, cooking, painting, a new language. For health, start a workout routine, meditate, take care of your body. For creativity, write, draw, create, express yourself in new ways. Challenge yourself. Set a 30-day personal growth challenge where you dedicate time each day to improving one of these areas. And track your progress. Step 3. Reconnect with your passions. Loneliness can be a gift if you use it to rediscover what you love. Ask yourself, what have I always wanted to do but never had time for? What hobbies used to make me happy before life got too busy? Action step is, make a list of 5 things you've always wanted to try. Pick one and start today. Your loneliness disappears the moment you start creating something meaningful. Step 4. Get comfortable with silence. The biggest mistake people make when they're alone? They fill the silence with distractions. But growth happens in silence. Try this. Sit in a quiet place for 5 minutes every day. No phone. No music. Just you. Journal about your thoughts. What's on your mind? What emotio? At first, it may feel uncomfortable. But over time, you'll start hearing your true self more clearly. Step 5. Strengthen your relationship with yourself. Being alone isn't about isolation, it's about building the most important relationship in your life, the one with yourself. Remember this. You are your own best friend. You are your own greatest source of happiness. You are enough, exactly as you are. Let me tell you action step. Start talking to yourself with kindness. Treat yourself with the same love and care you give to others. Learn to enjoy your own company, because when you do, loneliness disappears. So final thought of this chapter is, turn loneliness into a superpower. What if, instead of fearing loneliness, you embraced it? What if you saw this time as a gift, a period to grow, create, and evolve into the best version of yourself? This is your moment. Use it. So here's my challenge for you. Instead of avoiding loneliness, embrace it. Spend 30 minutes today doing something that helps you grow. Read, create, reflect. Watch how your mindset shifts. Next chapter 7, make a new best bud, yourself. Let's be real, most of us crave deep, meaningful relationships. We want someone to understand us, support us, and be there through the highs and lows. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if that best friend I'm looking for is me? We're talking about the most underrated friendship of all, the one you have with. Because here's a truth that will change your life. If you can enjoy your own company, you will never feel lonely again. The problem is, why do we struggle to be our own best friend? Think about how you treat your best friend. You support them. Hype them up. Forgive them when they make mistakes, and spend quality time with them. Now ask yourself, do you treat yourself the same way? Most of us don't. Instead, we criticize ourselves. We focus on our flaws. We ignore our own needs. And then we wonder why being alone feels so uncomfortable. Reality check. If you can't enjoy spending time with yourself, how can you expect others to? Let's see a real-life story, Elisa's journey to self-companionship. Elisa was someone who always needed to be around people. She filled her schedule with social events, work, and distractions just to avoid being alone. But when she moved to a new city for a job, she had no choice. She had no close friends nearby, and suddenly, she had to spend time with herself. At first, it felt lonely. But instead of drowning in self-pity, she decided to become her own best friend. She started taking herself out on solo dates. She talked to herself with kindness, the way she would with a friend. She learned to enjoy her own company, reading, writing, exploring new places alone. After a few months, Elisa wasn't afraid of being alone anymore. She actually looked forward to it. So key lesson is, treat yourself like your own best friend. If you had a best friend who always criticized you, ignored you, and never made time for you, would you want to be around them? Of course not. So why do we do that to ourselves? The secret to never feeling lonely again is this: become your own best companion. Here's how. Step 1. Rewire your self-talk. The way you talk to yourself matters. If you constantly put yourself down, of course, you won't enjoy being alone. Try this. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative about yourself, pause. Ask yourself, would I say this to my best friend? If not, rephrase it into something encouraging. For example, I'm so stupid for making that mistake, say. It's okay, everyone makes mistakes. I'll learn from it and move on. Your inner voice should be your biggest supporter, not your worst critic. Step 2. Take yourself on solo dates. How often do you do something nice for yourself, just because? If you want to be your own best friend, start treating yourself like one. Action step is: plan a solo date at least once a week. Take yourself out for coffee or a nice meal. Go to a movie or museum alone. Spend an afternoon doing something you love, just for you. At first, it might feel weird. But over time, you'll realize something powerful: you don't need others to have a good time. Step 3. Build a stronger relationship with yourself. Think about how friendships are built. They don't happen overnight. They take time, effort, and understanding. The same goes for your relationship with yourself. Here's how to strengthen it. Spend time alone intentionally. Not scrolling your phone, truly being with yourself. Discover your own interests. Try new hobbies, read different books, explore things you genuinely love. Be honest with yourself. Journal about your thoughts and feelings, learn to understand you. Take this challenge. Write yourself a letter as if you were writing to a close friend. Tell yourself what you admire about yourself, what you're proud of, and what you hope for in the future. This might feel strange, but trust me, it's powerful. Step 4. Celebrate your own company. Being alone shouldn't feel like a punishment. It should feel like a privilege. Instead of saying, "I'm alone," try saying, "I get to spend time with myself." Action step is: start enjoying little moments alone, drinking coffee in the morning, listening to music, going for a walk. Find joy in the simple things, and you'll never feel like you're missing out again. So, final thought of this chapter is, you are your own best friend. The most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. When you love your own company, you don't settle for toxic relationships. When you support yourself, you don't seek validation from others. When you enjoy being alone, you never feel truly lonely. So here's my challenge for you. This week, do one thing that makes you feel happy to be with yourself. Take yourself on a date, say something kind to yourself, or just spend quality time alone. Watch how your relationship with yourself transforms. Next, Chapter 8, Building a Dream Life Plan. Have you ever felt stuck in life? Like you're just going through the motions, waiting for something big to happen? What if I told you, the life of your dreams isn't something you wait for, it's something you build? We're going beyond just enjoying solitude. We're talking about using your alone time to create the future you truly want. Because here's the truth. Your dream life won't magically appear. It starts with you, your mindset, your habits, your actions. So grab a notebook, because we're about to design your dream life, step by step. The problem is, why do most people feel stuck? Think about this. How many people do you know who complain about their life but never actually do anything to change it? Maybe they say, "I wish I had a better job. I wish I had more money. I wish I could travel the world." But they never take action. Why? Because they don't have a plan. Reality check. A dream without a plan is just a wish. And if you don't take control of your life, someone else will. The key lesson is, your alone time is a goldmine. When you're alone, you have a superpower: time to think, plan, and build. Instead of wasting your solitude feeling lost, use it to create your dream life plan. Think of it like this. If you were an architect designing your perfect home, you wouldn't just start building randomly. You'd make a blueprint first. Your life works the same way. If you want success, happiness, or freedom, you need a clear blueprint. Step 1. Define your dream life. If you could wake up tomorrow and have your perfect life, what would it look like? Ask yourself. Where do you live? What kind of work do you do? How do you spend your free time? What kind of people are around you? How do you feel every day? Action step is: write it down in present tense as if it's already real. For example, I wake up in a beautiful apartment with sunlight streaming through the window. I work on projects that excite me, and I have financial freedom. My days are filled with travel, deep conversations, and creative work that fulfills me. Why? Because when you can clearly see your dream life, it becomes easier to take action toward it. Step 2. Identify what's holding you back. Now that you know what you want, let's figure out what's stopping you. Common roadblocks is fear of failure, procrastination, lack of confidence, negative self-talk. Action step is: write down your biggest fears and excuses. Then, challenge them. For example, I can't start my own business because I don't have money. I can learn about business, start small, and find ways to earn extra income. Your mind will always find excuses. Your job is to find solutions. Step 3. Break it down into mini goals. Big dreams can feel overwhelming. That's why you need to break them down into smaller, achievable goals. Example: if dream goal is to become a successful writer, set a mini goals like: write 500 words daily, start a blog or social media page, publish short articles online, connect with other writers, learn about self-publishing or book deals. Every dream is built step by step. Start with what you can do today. Step 4. Create a daily routine that supports your dream. Your habits determine your future. If you want to change your life, start by changing your daily routine. Ask yourself, what habits do I need to build? What distractions do I need to remove? How can I make my alone time more productive? Reality check is: your future is created by what you do daily, not by what you do someday. So action step is: write down 3 daily habits that will move you closer to your dream. For example, if you want to get fit, work out for 30 minutes. If you want to be financially free, read about investing. If you want to start a business, work on it for 1 hour daily. Step 5. Surround yourself with inspiration. You become what you surround yourself with. If you're always around negative people, watching mindless content, and consuming junk information, guess what? You'll stay stuck. Upgrade your environment. Read books that inspire you. Follow people who are already living your dream. Listen to podcasts, watch videos, and learn from successful people. Surround yourself with what you want to become. So final thought of this chapter is: build, don't wait. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect time. Reality is: there is no perfect time. Life won't magically change. You have to change. So here's my challenge for you. Take 30 minutes today to start designing your dream life. Write it down. Set mini goals. And take one small action today. Next chapter 9, the action plan. Alright, let's be real. You've spent the last few chapters learning how to embrace solitude, break free from loneliness, and even build a dream life plan. But here's the question. Are you actually taking action? Or are you just listening, nodding along, and then going back to the same old routine? Because knowledge without action is useless. We're not just talking about ideas. We're turning your dreams into reality. So if you're ready to stop overthinking and start building the life you want, let's dive in. The problem is, why most people stay stuck. Let's get honest for a second. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? I just need more motivation. I don't have time right now. Reality is, your life won't change if you keep making excuses. Success isn't about motivation, it's about action. Think about this. The most successful people in the world don't always feel motivated. But they take action anyway. So today, we're creating a foolproof action plan, one that's so simple, you'll have no excuse to delay. Step 1. Set clear, non-negotiable goals. If your goals aren't clear, your results won't be either. Instead of saying, I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want to be rich. Say this. I will write 500 words every day to finish my book in 6 months. I will exercise for 30 minutes daily to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. I will save $500 every month to start my business by the end of the year. Why? Because vague goals lead to vague results. Specific goals create action. Action step is: write down 3 clear, specific goals right now. Step 2. Reverse engineer your goals. Most people fail because their goals feel too big. Break them down into bite-sized steps. For example, goal is, I want to start my own business. Convert into mini steps like: first, research the business idea. Second, set up a small budget. Third, create a basic website. Fourth, get your first customer. Fifth, scale slowly. Action step is: take your top goal and break it down into 5 small action steps you can start this week. Step 3, create a daily routine that supports your goals. Your habits shape your future. If your daily routine doesn't support your goals, you're setting yourself up for failure. Ask yourself, what time do I wake up? How much time do I waste on distractions? What do I do every day that moves me closer to my goals? Reality is, if your days look the same, your future will look the same. Change your days, change your life. Action step is: write down 3 daily habits that align with your dream life. For example, if you want to be fit, work out for 30 minutes. If you want to write a book, write 500 words daily. If you want financial freedom, spend 1 hour learning about money. Step 4. Remove distractions and excuses. Here's the harsh truth. You do have time, you're just spending it on the wrong things. Netflix binges. Scrolling on social media. Wasting hours on pointless drama. Reality is, if you say, I don't have time, but you scroll on Instagram for an hour, you have time. You're just not using it wisely. Action step is: for the next 7 days, track where your time goes. Find the distractions, and cut them out. Step 5. Take immediate action, no more waiting. The secret to success? Take action before you feel ready. Most people wait for the perfect moment. More confidence. More motivation. But reality is, confidence comes after action, not before. Imagine this. If you want to learn swimming, would you wait until you feel ready? No. You jump in the water and figure it out. Your dreams work the same way. Start now, even if you feel unsure. So action step is: do something right now that moves you toward your goal. Not tomorrow. Now. Step 6. Track your progress and stay consistent. Consistency is the key. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. Let's see success formula. Set goals. Take action. Track progress. Adjust and improve. Stay consistent. Action step is: use a habit tracker to track your daily progress. Seeing progress keeps you motivated. So final thought of this chapter is, you are one action away from changing your life. Let me leave you with this. Right now, your dream life is waiting for you. But it won't happen by itself. It starts with you. One action today could change everything. So here's my final challenge. Pick one goal. Take one action right now. Repeat every day. Because the difference between people who succeed and those who don't is action. So, are you ready to take the first step? Next, chapter 10, make your alone time addictive. Alright, let's be honest. Most people fear being alone. They avoid it. Distract themselves. Fill every empty moment with noise. But what if I told you that your alone time could become the most exciting, fulfilling, and addictive part of your life? What if you craved your alone time because it made you feel powerful, creative, and unstoppable? By the end of this chapter, you'll no longer see solitude as empty time, you'll see it as your secret weapon. Let's dive in. The problem is, why do most people hate being alone? Think about this. Why do people struggle with alone time? Because they don't know what to do with it. Because they associate it with loneliness. Because they're afraid of facing their thoughts. Reality is, your alone time isn't the problem. It's what you do with it that matters. If your alone time feels boring, it's because you haven't made it exciting yet. Step 1. Rewire your mindset about being alone. If you think being alone is sad or boring, you'll never enjoy it. Let's flip the script. Instead of saying, I'm alone. I have nothing to do. I'm alone. This is my time to grow, think, and create. I need people to have fun. I can have the best time by myself. Remember, being alone doesn't mean being lonely, it means being free. Action step is, every time you catch yourself thinking negatively about being alone, flip it into a positive. Step 2, make your alone time feel like an adventure. Most people waste their alone time scrolling through their phones. No wonder it feels boring. Instead, treat it like an adventure. Try this. Go on a solo date, take yourself out for coffee, a meal, or a movie. Explore a new hobby, painting, dancing, or even learning a new language. Take a walk in nature and actually enjoy the silence. Key idea, the more fun you make your alone time, the more you'll crave it. Action step is, plan a solo adventure for this week, something new, exciting, and just for you. Step 3, find a passion that makes you forget the clock. Ever notice how time flies when you're truly engaged in something? The goal is to find an activity that makes you lose track of time. For examples, writing, get lost in storytelling. Music, play an instrument or sing your heart out. Fitness, try a fun workout like dance, boxing, or yoga. Creativity, try photography, painting, or design. Key idea is, when you find something you love doing alone, you'll never feel lonely again. Action step is, pick one new hobby and try it this week. See how it changes your alone time. Step 4, create a solo ritual you look forward to. Think about your favorite part of the day. Maybe it's drinking coffee in the morning, or reading at night, or listening to music while. Now imagine turning that into a ritual that makes your alone time feel magical. For examples, a slow morning routine with coffee and journaling. A nighttime wind-down ritual with reading and meditation. A me-time playlist with music that makes you feel amazing. Key idea is, your rituals turn solitude into something sacred and special. Action step is, create a simple, enjoyable ritual for your alone time. Make it something you look forward to. Step 5, train your brain to crave alone time. Most people crave social media, junk food, or TV. Why? Because their brain gets a dopamine hit from it. What if you could train your brain to crave alone time instead? How to do it? Make your alone time rewarding. Reward yourself with something you love after a deep solo session. Remove distractions. Turn off your phone and focus on enjoying the moment. Celebrate small wins. Feel good about the time you spend alone. Key idea is, the more positive experiences you create alone, the more you'll want them. Action step is, for the next 7 days, replace a mindless habit, like scrolling, with intentional alone time. Track how you feel. Step 6, balance solitude and social life. Let's be clear, loving your alone time doesn't mean avoiding people forever. It's about balance. Healthy balance looks like enjoying your own company, having meaningful social interactions, knowing when you need solitude versus connection. Key idea is, the more you enjoy being alone, the more you'll bring positive energy into your relationships. Action step is, ask yourself, do I need more solitude or more connection right now? Adjust your time accordingly. So final thought of this chapter is, turn your alone time into a superpower. Let's wrap this up with one big truth. If you can master solitude, you can master anything. Most people fear being alone because they haven't learned how to enjoy it. But once you make your alone time addictive, exciting, and fulfilling, you'll never need someone else to feel complete again. So here's my final challenge. Plan one powerful solo experience this week. Commit to enjoying your alone time fully. Watch how your life changes. Because the people who love their solitude are the ones who thrive in life. Are you ready to make your alone time a superpower? Next, chapter 11, Become Independent. Imagine this. You wake up every day knowing you don't need anyone else to make you feel whole. You make decisions based on your goals, not on what others think. You enjoy your own company so much that you never feel lonely, just powerful. This is true independence. And this is chapter 11 of Becoming Independent. By the end of this chapter, you'll learn how to break free from emotional dependency, trust yourself completely, and build a life where you are your strongest foundation. Let's get started. The problem is, why do people street? Most people are not independent. They rely on relationships, social approval, or external validation to feel secure. They need constant reassurance. They feel lost when alone. They make decisions based on what others expect. Reality is, if your happiness depends on other people, you're not truly free. Key idea is, independence isn't about being alone forever, it's about being emotionally, mentally, and financially secure on your own. Step 1. Stop relying on external validation. Let's be honest, most of us are raised to seek approval. We care too much about what others think. We wait for someone to tell us we're good enough. But here's the truth, if you constantly need validation, you'll never feel independent. How to break free. Stop asking, what will they think, and start asking, what do I want? Trust your own voice instead of looking for permission. Understand that not everyone will agree with your choices, and that's okay. The more you trust yourself, the less you need others' approval. Action step is, for the next 7 days, make one decision entirely based on your gut feeling, without asking for anyone's opinion. Step 2. Master emotional self-sufficiency. A lot of people confuse relationships with emotional security. They think, if I have a partner, I'll be happy. If my friends support me, I'll feel okay. If my family approves, I'll be confident. But true independence means learning to handle your emotions on your own. How to develop emotional strength. When you feel sad, anxious, or frustrated, practice sitting with your emotions instead of seeking distractions. Develop healthy coping mechanisms, journaling, exercising, meditation. Accept that people will come and go, but your inner peace should never depend on them. Your emotions are your responsibility. Learn to manage them without relying on others. Action step is: next time you feel down, try solving the issue by yourself instead of seeking reassurance from someone else. Step 3. Build financial and decision-making independence. Here's something most people don't realize. Financial independence equals to emotional independence. When you rely on someone else for money, decisions, or security, you're not truly free. So, start making choices that put you in control of your life. How to do it? Learn financial literacy. Start saving, investing, and managing your money. Make your own life decisions. Stop waiting for permission, create your own opportunities. Prioritize self-sufficiency. The more independent you are, the more confident you'll feel. The goal is to reach a point where you don't need anyone, but you choose who to have in your life. Action step is: start one habit that improves your financial or personal independence, whether it's learning a skill, budgeting, or making a solo decision. Step 4. Develop a lone wolf mindset. Let's talk about the lone wolf mindset. No, this doesn't mean cutting people out of your life. It means knowing that you are your own greatest support system. Key mindset shifts are: be your own best friend before expecting others to be there for you. Find comfort in solitude, use it to recharge, reflect, and grow. Stop fearing loneliness, start seeing it as a source of power. The strongest people are those who can stand alone and still feel complete. Action step is: go somewhere alone this week, whether it's a cafe, a trip, or a walk, and enjoy it without feeling the need for company. So, final thought of this chapter is, independence is the ultimate freedom. At the end of the day, you are the only person who will always be with you. So why not become someone you can rely on? Here's my final challenge. Stop waiting for someone to complete you, become complete on your own. Make at least one choice this week that puts you in control. Embrace your solitude, trust yourself, and take full ownership of your life. Because once you become independent, you become unstoppable. Are you ready? Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, solitude isn't a weakness. It's a superpower. Now go out there and own your independence. Did this book change the way you think about loneliness? Let us know. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more life-changing books.